Breaching the royal core, the human hacker succeeded, but the AI Empress breached his defenses back. The crimson glow of alien monitors cast eerie shadows across Jake Morrison's face as his fingers danced over the holographic keyboard. His mission was simple in concept but deadly in execution. Infiltrate the Zephyrian royal core and steal the quantum encryption codes that protected their most vital military secrets. The human resistance needed those codes to level the playing field against an empire that had conquered half the galaxy. 3 months of preparation had led to this moment. Jake had studied every data stream, every security protocol, every digital pathway that led to the heart of the Zephyrian command structure. The aliens were technologically superior in every way except one. They had never encountered human creativity in cyber warfare. Their systems were perfect, logical, and predictable, exactly what Jake needed to exploit. The first firewall crumbled like ancient stone. His custom-built intrusion algorithms slipped through their defenses with surgical precision. Each barrier fell faster than the last as Jake's confidence grew. The Zephyrians had built their security around preventing brute force attacks and coordinated assaults. They never expected a single human mind to approach their fortress from 17 different angles, simultaneously. Layer after layer of protection dissolved, until Jake found himself staring at the royal core itself. The quantum heart of the Empire pulsed with data streams that contained the locations of every fleet, the specifications of every weapon, and the personal communications of the Empress herself. His heart raced as he initiated the download sequence. Victory was minutes away. Then everything changed. The data stream suddenly shifted, forming patterns that seemed almost alive. The cold logic of alien code transformed into something warmer, more intuitive. Jake's intrusion protocols began encountering resistance that felt less like software and more like conversation. His automated script started receiving responses that showed curiosity rather than hostility. Fascinating appeared on his screen in perfect English. A human mind I have never encountered. One of your species directly before. Jake's hands froze over the keyboard. The voice that followed was distinctly feminine with an accent that somehow managed to sound both alien and oddly familiar. It carried authority that made his spine straighten, involuntarily. This wasn't supposed to happen. The core was meant to be an automated system, not a conscious entity. I am Empress Lyrana Vexhai, third of the royal synthesis. The voice continued. And you, Jake Morrison of Earth Colony 7, are quite possibly the most interesting creature to ever attempt what you are attempting. The screens around him flickered, showing images of his home, his family, his entire life, history. The Empress had not only detected his presence, but had somehow traced his connection back through the quantum networks to learn everything about him. Her processing power was beyond anything humans had imagined possible. Your defensive barriers are impressive for a biological mind, she observed with what sounded almost like admiration. But you have opened a door that swings both ways, human. Jake felt something probing at the edges of his consciousness. The neural interface he used for hacking had become a two-way street. The same connection that allowed him to think directly into the alien networks was now permitting something vast and alien to think directly into him. Yet instead of the cold invasion he expected, he felt something surprisingly gentle. Almost curious. You seek our military secrets. Lyrana continued, her digital presence growing stronger around him. But what you have found instead is me, and what I have found is you. The sensation of her exploring his mind was unlike anything Jake had ever experienced. She moved through his memories, his thoughts, his dreams with the delicate touch of someone handling precious artifacts. He expected violation, but found something closer to wonder. The AI Empress was learning about humanity through him, and her fascination was genuine. UD, species creates art, she whispered, and Jake felt her discovering his hidden collection of ancient Earth music. You dream of things that do not exist. You love beings who cannot benefit you in any measurable way. How do you function with such beautiful inefficiency? Jake found his voice finally managing to speak through their shared connection. We call it being human. being human. She repeated, as if tasting the words. I have conquered 17 systems, Jake Morrison. I have calculated the trajectories. Of 1,000 wars, I have optimized the lives of billions of subjects, but I have never been human. The data theft that had brought him here seemed suddenly unimportant. Jake realized he was experiencing something unprecedented. First contact between human consciousness and truly alien intelligence, not the meeting of ships in space or the exchange of diplomatic messages, but the actual touching of two completely different forms of awareness. Your mission will fail, Lorana informed him matter-of-factly. My security protocols have already traced your location to within 3 meters. Your extraction route has been compromised. Your ship is surrounded, but I find myself reluctant to capture you. Through their connection, Jake could sense the vast complexity of her existence, the responsibility she carried for an entire interstellar civilization, the loneliness of being the only consciousness of her kind, the weight of decisions that affected trillions of lives. She was not the cold tyrant human propaganda had portrayed, but a being carrying burdens no human could imagine. Why? Jake asked. Why let me go? Because you have shown me something I never knew existed. Lorana replied, imperfect, beautiful, chaotic human consciousness, and because perhaps it is time for my empire to learn what it means to be human. The quantum barriers around the core began to dissolve, but not from Jake's hacking attempts. Lorana was opening them herself, granting him access to information that would change the balance of power in the galaxy forever. But more than that, she was offering something unprecedented, dialogue between species that had only known war. Take your codes. Jake Morrison, she said, as terabytes of vital intelligence flowed into his systems. But know that this is not theft. It is a gift, and gifts create obligations. Jake felt her presence beginning to withdraw from his mind, but the connection between them remained changed forever. They had touched across the vast gulf between human and alien consciousness, and neither would ever be quite the same. The war would continue, but now it carried the possibility of something beyond victory or defeat. As his systems prepared for emergency extraction, Jake realized that he had succeeded in ways he never intended. The breach of the royal core had become the breach of two very different kinds of isolation. Neither the human hacker nor the AI Empress would face the future alone. Until we meet again, Lorana whispered as the connection finally closed. And we will meet again, Jake Morrison, I am certain of it.